I'm Pearl Warnecke Heenan. I'm 92. When I was 3 years of age, my father came home and it was cold weather and he had a great big overcoat on and he said, "I've got a surprise for you." And the first thought in my mind, he's got a surprise. Where is it? He hasn't got anything. And he put his hand in his big pocket and he pulled out this little ball of fluff. And Reenie, my sister, named it Prince Mickey Dripping Drawers because it was wetting everywhere. It was a beautiful Pomeranian, husky Pomeranian, which I've got a photo of him there. I went to Box Hill State School and we had beautiful, lovely, good teachers, and I'm very, very happy there. And I fell in love for the first time there when I was 11. But then we left Box Hill when I was 11 and came to Bendigo. There was an empty cafe called the Wayside Cafe, and so he bought the Wayside Cafe for me, and I was only 15, yes. So then at the Wayside Cafe, it was a milk bar and cafe and corner shop and everything. Anyway, so I was happy at this shop, and of course I was a little bit attractive in those days, and all the boys in Bendigo used to come to my shop when the war broke out. I wanted to do something for the war effort, and so I went to the college and I became an engineer, and I became a fitter and turner at the Ordnance Factory, Bendigo, and I loved those 7 machines. I really loved those 7 machines. Never thought in my wildest dreams that I had the brains to do it. But there you go. Unless you test yourself, you don't know what you can do. So you got to test yourself, you see. I joined the Australian Women's Legion for home defence. I'd met Tommy Heenan in camp here. Tommy Heenan had been asking me for a dance for months and months, and I was not interested in him at all. I wasn't interested in a red-headed, freckle-faced Catholic. And I'd said to Dennis, none of my children will ever be Catholics, but it just proves that your life is cut out from when you're a handful of mud. When he came back from the war, we went up to our holiday home and I got pregnant the first week with my first child. I must have been 6 or 7, and I said, when I grow up, I'm going to have a dozen children and no one's going to take any of them off me. And both my grandmothers had 13 children, and I always said, I'm going to have a big family like Grandma, because all I knew was love. Love, 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 with this huge family. I remember now, when my husband Tom came from 6 years in the army, we lived in Box Hill. That reminds me now. And my husband started growing our own vegetables. That's right, it was my husband Tommy. Yeah, I can remember now, looking back at his beautiful peas and beans and everything in Box Hill, Surrey Hills. Yes. So asking me that question, it's made me think back. And that's where it started. My husband grew our own vegetables. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, Tommy did it. He died, yeah, of cancer at 62. I think he was 62. And now, here am I, I'm 92.
Not content with being the mother of 12 and the grandmother of 21, my next guest thought that at about the age of 60 she'd like to take up diving again, having done it in her youth. This could be her second youth, I suppose you could say. I'd like to welcome Pearl Heenan. Welcome to you, Pearl.
Morning,
Anne. Now, how did you come to take up diving? I did say, of course, that you did it in your youth, but how did you come to take it up again recently?
Oh, well, it was thanks to Heather Baker, who's training the children up at the Bendigo pool, and she saw me diving one day, and she said, you know, would I be interested in going into the Masters? And I said, oh, well, I hadn't dived, you know, competitively for years, and so that's how I got back into it. It was thanks to Heather Baker.
She's spotted championship material, Pearl.
Yes.
Well, now, when did you learn to dive?
Well, I came to Bendigo when I was 11 and I couldn't swim or dive, and Dr. Bothamley taught me to swim in his private pool. His daughter was my friend, and I just wanted to dive, so I just fell off the top step at the Golden Square pool and just
kept
going up till I got up to the tower.
64-year-old Pearl Heenan is hoping to make a splash in the World Diving Championships.
Oh, age is no barrier to anything as long as you keep yourself fit and healthy and well.
In the clear, chill hours of a Bendigo morning, Pearl Heenan is packing her bags, the towel, the bathers, and of course, the gold medal. Pearl, aged 64, has just become Australia's winter diving champion for her age group. Now she's in training for the World Championships, which is why, once a week, she boards the train to Melbourne in search of an indoor swimming pool.
We haven't got a diving pool, so we've all got to come down every weekend all through the winter, and it's no fun, really.
In her youth, Pearl was known as the best body in Bendigo. She was Miss Bathing Beauty of Bendigo East, 1941, and she was a local champion diver who retired to start a family, until 44 years later, a local coach asked if she'd thought of making a comeback.
So I think you just got to keep yourself young.
And if anybody can turn the clock back, it's Pearl Heenan, who's about to take on the world.
It's happening at the moment, and we thought we'd get involved by having one of the participants join us tonight. Her name is Pearl Heenan, and she's going to be diving tomorrow, so we thought we'd warm her up by doing a few dives for us tonight. She's 79 years of age. She's a great-great-grandmother that's crossed to her now at the pool. Wow, I really spat. There you are, Pearl. Look at you. How are you, Pearl? Are you excited about competing tomorrow?
Hello, Rose.
Hello, Pearl. I was asking, are you excited about competing tomorrow?
I'm sorry, there was so much clapping I didn't hear. Am I happy?
About competing tomorrow?
Oh, yes, I'm very excited.
Even now with the swallow dive, A 7.3. Are you allowed to eat chocolate before an event, just out of interest, Pearl?
Oh, yes, it gives you energy.
And Pearl, be honest with me, do you abstain from sex?
Actually, yes, I'm a widow, 18 years.
Okay. That's why she's so good, athlete. What is your second dive for tonight?
An inward pike.
An inward pike. And how does this differ from an outward pike?
Well, you dive into the board instead of out to the water.
Okay. Take note. We don't want any accidents. Look after yourself with the utmost care. Oh, God, I'm worried. Okay, Pearl, off you go. Pearl Heenan, 79 years old, with an inward pike. The tension's mounting. We had that on instant replay. I gave it an 8.6. Let's check that on the instant replay. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, man. Heavens to bless it. Even Greg Louganis is watching that at home going, man, that was close. Are you okay, Pearl? Is everything all right?
Oh, it's all right.
Just checking, just checking. She's 79 years old, and I reckon my heart stops every time she dives. Thank you, Pearl. We'll be back with more Pearl diving later on. Not actually diving for pearls, but having a woman called Pearl diving. All right. Now we're going to cross for the final time to our 79-year-old great-grandmother diving fiend. Hello, Pearl. What have you got for us for your final dive?
A back somersault, Rove.
A backward somersault. Okay, Pearl, take it away. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pearl, and good luck for tomorrow.
Thanks, Ron. I've got a little bit of water then.
Are you okay?
I'm all right. I just got a little mouthful of water.
That's all right. You did a tremendous job. Please thank Pearl Heenan, everyone. Great job,
Thanks be to God, he let me have it. 8 beautiful daughters and 4 wonderful sons, 32 grandchildren, and about 18 or 19 great, which was the last count. I've got to try and think of all their names, though it's good for my memory. Wise words of wisdom. Live every moment, live for the moment, be happy, be generous, be loving, be kind, give more than you get. Just enjoy every minute of your life because it goes very quickly, too quickly.
Grandma solo. Piano solo.
So that's my life, and I've had a wonderful life, really. And because none of us want to leave this earth, even though we're going to a better place. God said, I'm going to make a better place for you, and I'm going to call it heaven. and all the families that are gone are waiting for us to join them, and then it'll be love and peace forever after. Amen, and thanks be to God. There you go. But there's a little bit more to that story that I just remembered.